Hello everyone, welcome back to Game Dev Night. Today is episode 13 of our YouTube platform series, and today we're going to work on the pause menu and the winning screen. Because next video we're going to work on the level selection screen, and to actually get to that screen in game, we have to have a win condition or some pause menu for the player to click into the main menu. Cool. Now to get started, we're going to click on our UI manager over here. We're going to right click, add child node, type in color rect like so. Cool. And we're going to rename this to pause menu. We're going to change the color to, let's just say something a little gray, darkish, and make it a little bluish like so. There we go, it's like a nice purplish color. Go into the layout, transform, and change the size to 120 by 160. Cool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to click this button over here, and we're going to click this middle one right here. So now it is anchored in the middle of the screen, which is what we want. Cool. And now we're going to right click, add child node, and we're going to type in VBox, VBox like so that is vertical container. Cool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to drag this out like so. We just want to match it up essentially. That's probably not perfect, but we'll go into layout, transform anyhow, we'll change the size to 120. And on the y-axis, we're actually going to make it a little bit shorter, so 140, so there's a little bit of space. And then on the position, we're going to change it to 10 on the y-axis, so it's a little bit down. So we have a little bit of space at the top and the bottom. Then we'll add another child node, and this will be a horizontal box, so hbox like so. Horizontal box container, cool. And then here we'll right click add child node and we will type in button. And there we go. We'll go into this button, we'll scroll down into layout, and over here we have the custom minimum size, and we'll change that to 50 by 30. Cool, so now we can go into this, we could type in something like resume. Go, cool. And now if we click on this hbox container over here, we can change the alignment. We can click on center. Now it's on the middle. And the reason for all this big setup just to have a button is now we can click on this and we can just hit Control D. And as you can see, they all line up nicely. So I just wanted to do that to show you guys these nodes do exist that do make sorting like this a lot easier. So now you don't have to manually move these buttons to the exact right spots. You just know they will all work. Cool. So now we can go into this the next button over here. We could change the text to, let's say, restart. And we can change this button over here to world map. Now I know normally in games they call their button like this one, they'll call it main menu or something like that. We're just going to call it world map to know exactly what it's for. And the last button we will change to quit. So that'll quit the application. Again, I know most platformers don't have a straight up quit button in the pause menu, but personally I think it's a little bit nicer if the player doesn't have to go all the way out to the main menu or something to actually quit the game. Cool. There we go. So now on our UI manager, we're going to click on the script and we're going to use this script over here to do all our functionality. Now these buttons we made, we're going to change the names to what they actually say in the text so we know which button is which. So we'll have the resume over here, and we will have the restart over there, and then we have the world map over there, and then we have quit. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on resume. We're going to click into node and press, and we're going to connect it into our UI manager. And we're going to do the exact same thing for all the other buttons. So restart, world map, so on and so forth, just all of them. Get them all done. Cool. And there we are. Now, something I'm going to do is actually have all these functions in our game manager. You can make a second autoload script if you'd like something like, let's say, a UI controller or something weird that is for your actual UI stuff. But we're just going to put all this in game manager. So we're going to our game manager over here, and we're going to make 4 functions in here. So we have func resume, so which we will pass, func restart, restart like so, cool, and again just pass, and func world. Actually, we could just call this maybe load world like so, and again pass, and then function quit like so. We don't have to do this function quit over here, but we will just do it for now. So we'll go into our UI manager, and all these we're just going to call the appropriate functions in the game manager. So game manager dot resume, and again we're just going to do this for all of these. Like I said, dot restart. I'll just come back to you guys when I have all of these done. Cool, so I finish all mine, just looks like that. And now we can get into some logic. Now straight off the bat for the quit, very easily, what we're going to do is get tree dot quit. that will quit the application. So if you export the game and hit play and you click the quit button, it should just work. And for restart, very simply as well, we'll get tree and we will say .reload current scene. Now there's some other things we also have to do if we restart, and that is we have to set all these values back to 0. Well, nothing essentially, because if we pick up, let's say 3 coins and restart, we will still have those 3 coins. So what we're going to do is just in here, we're going to say coins equals 0. Cool. Now, this player and current checkpoint one, you might have to actually set to null as well if you're going to have levels that, if you, let's say you have a level that doesn't actually have a checkpoint, which would be weird. I don't know if anyone would ever have that situation. You will get an error because it will try to reach the old checkpoint you had, but that checkpoint doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, if you want to make sure that stuff can't happen, then just say checkpoint equals, oh sorry, not that, we called it current checkpoint equals null. But again, you don't need to do that if you're not going to have weird levels like that, which you shouldn't. So this should be fine. Cool. Now resume. This is going to be a little different. We're going to have a function called PausePlay. And in this function, we'll need another variable. So over here, we'll come up here and we'll make a variable var paused equals false. Cool. And now in here, what we're going to do is, oh, that has an error because the thing right there. Sorry about that. I'm very sorry about that. Someone just came in. I hope that's okay. We're going to call the PausePlay over here. So that'll be that. And over here, we're going to say paused equals, I don't know why that went away from me. Paused equals not paused. So essentially, again, we've done this a few times now, but I'll keep explaining if people haven't been following along. This will just mean if it is false, it'll be true. And if it is true, it'll be false. It just flips the value essentially. And yeah. So something we're going to need to do is set a reference to this pause menu because we need to hide it and show it. Of course, we don't want that always showing because then the player can't actually see what's going on. So on our UI manager over here, we'll get a reference to it. We're going to go into the ready function and we're going to say here we will do game manager dot pause menu like so. I think that's fine. Equals, and we will just drag in the pause menu like so. Cool. So now if we go into our game manager, over here we just need a reference for that again. So up here we will just do a var pause menu like so. There we go. And over here what we can do is we can go into here and we can say pause menu dot visible equals not paused. Because let's say paused is true, so it should be displaying the, oh no, sorry, it shouldn't be like that. There we go. That, I think that's right. So there's that. And now we need a way to actually pause. Now we're going to just do it if you hit like escape. You're going to set up the input for that. So in here, project settings, input, and we will need a pause input. So we'll say pause. So go pause. And I'm just going to set mine to escape. I like that. Of course, if you're using a controller or something, set it to whatever you need to. But there we have the pause. And now on the, we'll do it on the UI manager. We do not want to do this on the game manager because let's say you are on the world map scene, there's no reason to pause. So the game manager will try to pause and it will probably break because it doesn't have references to the things it needs to because it is not on a scene that has a pause menu. Cool. So in here in the UI manager, we're going to go func process and if input dot is action just pressed, and we're going to say pause. Then we're going to do game manager dot pause play. That's the function we made, and there we go. So I think this is all right. I might be missing one more thing. Let me just make sure. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to hit escape, and yeah, it seems to be working. So if we go in here, we disable this pause menu over here. So just click the little eye icon, we press play. So everything works. If we walk around, I can hit escape, and there we go. So the pause menu works. We can hit restart. It works. You can see there's our coins. So we have 3 coins. And if I hit restart again, we are on 0. And if we pick up, we still have 0 coins. And quit should work. And yeah, there we go. So now we need to firstly go back into the UI manager and change this delta to a underscore delta. That'll just get rid of this error you're having in the debugger so it doesn't scare you guys. And now we need to do the actual load world. So for the load world map, we'll need an actual world map. So I'll make a new scene, 2D scene. Let's rename this to world map. I'm gonna give mine a capital M, sorry about that. World map like so. Hit Control S, scenes, and world map. There we go. And we can just drag that, put it next to our level 1. And then here we can go back to the script, game manager, and here we're gonna do get tree dot change scene to file, and just do annotations and type in world. Mine's not popping up for some reason, so I guess I'll do it the normal way. So you scroll down, find that world map you made. Here's mine. We can just drag it in like so. Cool. Now that should work. Let's hit play. Hopefully it'll go smoothly. I'll hit escape. I'll click world map, and yeah, it works. And if I hit escape in here, nothing happens because again, we had that on the actual UI manager, not our game manager. So far everything seems correct. There might be something I'm missing, but again, this is kind of a 2-part video. Next video, we will finalize this and do the actual world map. But yeah, let's get into a winning screen now. So for this victory screen, of course, you can customize this however you want. I'm just going to make a very simple one. Add a child node. Again, just a color rect like so. And I'm actually going to click on the pause menu, click on this, and just copy this color over here. Click back onto the color rect and click onto this and change the color to that. There we go. Now I got the same color. And in the layout, I'm not 100% sure how I want this, so I make it 200 watt high. Why not? Pretty big. And then let's say 180 wide. No, it could be a little bit wider than that. Let's say 240. And that's a little bit too high, so let's say 120. There we go. I'm happy with that. Cool. I'm going to take this and again hit this button at the top and center it like so. I'm going to rename this to win screen. And on this, I'm going to add a child node. I'm going to add a label. So type in label. And this is going to be the score. So the score the player has from killing enemies, collecting coins, all that good stuff. So in here, I'm going to do score. And I'm going to say 1,300. Good job. Nice. Now we're going to take this label and we're just going to move it to generally the middle-ish. I think you should be able to do this right here. Yep, that works actually. So this anchor is working with the windscreen. So here you can see the windscreen's border is of course this border over here. So it is anchoring to the top middle of the windscreen. So that's where that works, how it does. And then we can right click, add a child node, and we'll add 2 buttons. So add a button, like so. We can scroll down into layout, and we will change the minimum size again to 50 by 30. I like that size. And then in here, we're going to type in restart. So we'll have a restart button. Move it to, let's say, over there-ish. I think that's good. And then we're going to hit Control D. And then we're going to move it to the right. And we will just move that more or less where it should be. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then on here, we will just have resume. So that'll just continue to the, oh, didn't mean to do that. This will just continue to the world map. And there we go. So now we're going to rename these so they have the right names. And again, just restart like so. And resume. Now, if you want to be a little bit fancy, this restart, we can actually just connect it straight up to UI Manager and it will work because it has the same name as this restart. So just make sure you have the exact same spelled restart name over here. And then we can just click into node, press, connect it to the UI Manager. And as you can see on restart, press is already set. So if you click play just to test it out, we should be able to just click on this restart button over here. And as you can see, it does work. It does restart the scene perfectly. So that is that done. That is the restart button done. And now the resume button is a little bit different. We might change the actual name of it to finish level, like so, just so we understand what this is, because again, it's a little different, but just call this resume for the player to actually see. The finish level is for us to see and understand what it is. So connect this to the UI Manager. And here we have it over here. So on finish level pressed, then this is essentially just going to go game manager dot load world. So that's all that's doing. That is just continuing to the world map. Now this score, there's some stuff we have to do with this score. So we click onto our UI Manager up here. We'll need a var, var score. We can call it score label if you want to be more specific. Equals, and we'll drag in the label like so. Cool. And that should be that done. And now on our game manager, we'll need a reference to the windscreen as well. So we're going to take this line over here, just hit Control C, like so, and we're gonna take this out like so, and drag in the windscreen, and there we go. And we'll turn off this little eye over here. And on the windscreen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another function. Actually, we'll do this above all of these, so we'll do it over here. Func win is we're gonna say win screen equals, dot visible equals true. Cool, and over here we need the variable for it, so we'll do var win screen. Cool, and on the UI manager, yeah, this is almost right. We have to just go win screen over there, and cool, there we go. So on the game manager, we'll scroll down, and we've made one little mistake. Well, I've made a mistake. This should be for the game manager as well. So we'll hit Control X on this, and we'll just go over here, and we'll say game manager dot and just Control V. There we go. Get rid of this line up here. So score label, just hit Control C, go on our game manager, and again over here we'll just do score label like so. And over here we'll say score label dot text equals, and like this, score, and then plus, and we will say string like so, and score. Cool. And over here we're going to make a new variable underneath the coins. Var score is a int. Cool. And we should actually just say this equals 0 by default. And there we go. Cool. So right now we don't have a way to earn score, but we will do that in a episode of the future. But if you manage to figure that out on your own, it's pretty simple to do. Actually, let's just do it now because it is pretty easy to do. All we're going to do is go here on our enemy and nd die. We're going to say game manager dot score plus equals 100. So let's say enemies are worth 100 score. Hit this, Control C, go up, and let's go to our coins. So scroll down, here's our coin, and again, same thing over here. Score plus equals, let's say 50. Coins aren't worth as much, and there we go. That's the coin done. And that all should be perfect. Now we need a way to actually win. So these checkpoints will be our way to win. We're going to scroll down and get a checkpoint. I'm going to Control D, and let's move it to the end. Cool, there we go. And we're going to click into the checkpoint script. I'm going to make a var. Oh, sorry, no, not there. Export var when condition equals false. Cool. And over here in the activate, we will just do, actually we can do just do it in the above. If when condition, then game manager dot when. Is that what we called the function? Yes, we called it when. So there we go. That is the when complete. So that should just be that finished. And then we can go back into 2D and we could just go into here on our checkpoint, click on it. So this checkpoint we made, and we click on when condition, set it to true. And I think that is everything done. Let's go ahead. Let me kill a enemy. Make sure the score thing doesn't break the game. Go touch checkpoint. Oh, took some damage. And as you can see, it works. We have the score up there. Everything works. I can hit restart. We can replay the level. And oh, there's one more thing we need to do is again in our game manager, scroll down. And where we set the value back to 0 over here, the coins, we need to set the score to 0. And we also need to actually freeze the game. So what we're going to do here is get tree.paused equals paused. I think that'll just work. Maybe. Yeah, so pause the game, but we can't unpause it. Oh, this is a little bit tricky. I didn't think about this. Give me 1 second. It is not too tricky. We'll just take this line, hit Control X, delete it. We'll go into our UI manager like so. And over here, where we do the pause thing over here, we're going to, right after this, equals game manager.pause. I think that'll work. And then we click on our UI manager. We'll go into the process over here and change it from inherit to always. This just means it can't be pausable. It'll always be running. I think yeah, that works. So that works, perfectly fine, kind of. Not 100% because the game manager can't actually set that. But what we can do is we can just go into our game manager. Here it is. And for the resume over here, there's our resume. We can just say get tree again, and we can say paused equals to false. So now it should work just fine. Let me hit play, pause, resume. Okay, it all seems to work fine. We can move, pause the game, go. Let's go and kill an enemy. Again, just make sure absolutely everything works. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. I just did it twice. Okay, here we go. Let's touch the flag, and yep, that works. And again, we can click resume, and we are on the world map. So there we go. Everything works. I apologize for this video being so lengthy and having a few little mistakes here and there. This was quite a hard video to just... It's a lot of information, and I tried to explain it as best as I could for you guys because, again, it's a lot of information and a lot of control node stuff we haven't worked with yet, so I didn't want to just skim over it all and leave people confused. But yeah, so that's how everything works. I hope you guys enjoyed, and next video we will finish this world map. That video shouldn't be in too many days. I'm just going to quickly do it, and maybe tomorrow or the day after, and then we have a nice world map working, and everything should be fine. I hope everyone has a lovely day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.